Hey guys, I'm Joey. Welcome back to another episode of Over the Table's Random Reviews. We're getting close to the end of the year, and today we've got something quite special, and it's something very different than what I usually review on this channel, but I think it's cool. It's a laser engraver slash cutter. You can use these things to make all types of custom gifts and whatnot for people. Christmas is coming up. You could do it that way. It's a really cool little product. I'll pop a link in the description if you guys end up liking it. But for now, let's open it up and check it out. Okay guys, I don't know what happened to the meat cleaver knife. So we're going to be opening this thing up with the credit card knife. Now, interesting story about this credit card knife. So I've gone through many metal detectors that have never detected this credit card knife. But the other day for work, I was at a state attorney's office. They had metal detectors. And they actually picked it up while it was in my wallet. And they were like, oh, we got something. And they made me put it in my car. So, just so you know, it's not going to fool every metal detector.
Guess what's in the box?
Oh, I've always wanted one of these.
Another box!
Okay.
Hey, guess what's in the box?
It's not another box.
No, it's not. No, not this time. Unfortunately. That's what I wanted.
Giveaway cutting mat. When cutting, please use this mat under the object to prevent damage to the tabletop. That's good to have. So they give you a metal plate that you put underneath the engraver, so it doesn't go all the way through whatever you're cutting, and end up cutting your table or engraving your table that you're using. Alright, so in the box you're going to get some instructions. This thing does require some assembly, so you're going to have to keep that in mind. And you have to have a computer because you got to download a software that allows you to use this laser engraver cutter. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this thing put together, and we will come back, let you know how hard it was, what the process was like. It shouldn't be too hard based on what I've seen, so let's do it. Let's get it together. Alright guys, so this thing actually didn't take too long to put together. The instructions were very well packaged. They have each parts bag labeled step 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was only like 6 steps to put this thing together. Just some screws. It really anybody could do it. And now it's on. You can see that it's got movement back and forth. We still need a little adjustment on the belts to tighten them up, which is real easy. And then here's the laser. It's all plugged in and ready to go. So next I'm going to show you guys what the software looks like and we're going to start engraving some stuff. Keep in mind, if you do get this, it does include some safety glasses. I promise you, you're going to want to use this, because if it's strong enough of a laser to burn through materials, it could burn through your retinas and make you go blind. Definitely wear these. It's going to make a big difference, and you will thank me later. So now it's the fun part, so let's get to the fun part. Alright guys, so here is the program. It's called Laser GRBL. If you just give a quick Google search, you'll be able to find the software, you'll find their website, and you'll be able to download this thing straight away from their site. It really doesn't take up that much room in your computer, and if I'm being honest, my laptop is not great. It's actually, it's old. This is like a 3-4-year-old laptop. But I can tell you that the program runs perfectly fine on this thing. So even if you don't have the best hardware, the software really just doesn't take too much. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys exactly how you get from installing the software to laser printing. First of all, you're going to connect that USB that comes with the laser engraver to your computer, and then connect the other end to the engraver. And then if that doesn't connect it by itself, go up there to Tools and then install that driver, because that's what I had to do, and that worked out fine, and then it was able to connect flawlessly. Now let's get into creating a project here. So you just go over, you open a new file, then you can go ahead and scroll through your images. I'm gonna go with the old subscribe button. Okay, so when you do that, you end up with a screen like this. So what you see on the screen, you see grayscale, brightness, contrast. White clip means that it's going to remove how sensitive it removes the white within the background, so that way it only really laser engraves the non-white parts. Then you have other options such as like vectorize, which is going to give you an outline of what it is, which I think is really good for cutting out specific shapes. The line-to-line tracing is your engraving option though. And then you have direction you can change. Now quality, that's pretty important. That basically will determine how many lines it puts within a certain millimeter span. The more detail you want in your engraving, the higher number you want that quality to be. But again, if you're doing something small, you don't necessarily need that to be such a high number, because you're not going to get a lot of detail at a small rate, because the laser can only be so small. But other than that, it's good. And you could turn on line preview and it'll show you the density of those lines on the engraving. Now sometimes if the image is not centered or something, you might want to do the auto trim image and it'll trim it up for you. I've had it complete success with that, and it's never failed me. Now when you click next, you get to options such as engraving speed. You can adjust the speed that it goes, and then you have things like size. Size matters a lot as far as engraving, because that's how you're going to determine what size you want it to be. I found that 120 on the width gives me about a 5-inch engraving surface, so I would play around with it. I'll show you how you can determine what size it ends up being in a second. So then you go to create, and once you're at create, it brings you to this page. And then so first thing I like to do is I like to go to focus, because you want to adjust your laser to the smallest dot you can on the thing that you're engraving without ever touching it. But you are going to need to adjust the laser depending on the thickness of what you're engraving. And then I like to hit frame. What frame does is it just basically takes the laser around, and it goes around the area that it's going to be engraving. So you know exactly where you need to place your thing that you're engraving and make your adjustments and whatnot. I found that it works beautifully. What you're going to need to do is I found that I was able to manually move the laser to around the spot that I wanted. And then I hit this button here with the globe and the location, and that just sets the origin point. so it knows where to start from. And then once you get to that point, it'll show you your estimated time at the bottom and the amount of lines that it's going to do. It shows you the image that also gives you an idea on how close the lines will be together. And then once you're all set with that, guys, you hit play and it runs it and it goes. You do have the option to stop it in the middle if something's not going right. So let's go ahead and start this thing up. I hope you guys like the product. I think it's really, really cool how easy this is to use. I don't want you guys to be deterred by how complex something like this seems. You know, it's a lot going on, but I promise you I've never had a laser engraver before, and I figured this entire thing out in maybe 20 minutes. Hopefully this video will give you a head start and not having to figure out the things that I had to figure out. But it works so nicely, guys. This is such a high quality product. You're paying for quality, and I mean, it'll speak for itself. Watch. Okay guys, I can't stress enough how important it is to use these safety glasses. You're not even going to really be able to see the laser beam with them, but I promise you, please use them. If you don't, you will screw up your eyes, and you only get one pair of those. As far as I'm aware, I don't think there are any eye transplants out there. If there are, you know, let me know in the comments, because that would be interesting. So you guys can see this thing really does engrave nicely. If you want to do cutting, you can adjust the amount of passes that it does, so that way it'll cut out a specific shape. It works so well. It's so simple. It's so simple. If I could do it, you could do it. It takes no time at all to learn, almost no time at all to set up. It's just all around a great product. I will pop a link in the description if you guys do like it. If you want a budget laser engraver, something you can make custom gifts and whatnot, this is the way to go. I mean, it's well made. The program's super easy. You won't be disappointed. That's all I'm gonna say. So click the link if you think it's interesting and you want to check it out. Other than that, if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button right down here. If you want to check out my last video, it's over there. And if you want to check out the random reviews playlist, it's up there, or the other way around. Have a great day, everybody. And as always, don't get shy.